Alright, this is for a 2007 BMW 328xi. It'll also work for an X3 and an X5 to remove the oil pan or to replace the oil pan gasket. Either or, you can do both. I used the car original tow hook that you find in the trunk to support the motor. It threads down right in there. A lot of people don't know that. So you're going to keep the motor where it's at leveled. Take out the two motor mount bolts. After that, you're going to take out the suspension. So you got to take out the axles. All right. I took out and I hung the rotor. I left the strut in. I took out the tie rod, the links, all the subframe bolts. You can see how much of a gap I have. And the way I'm supporting it is the jack's holding the front of it on that point right there. And I have two jack stands holding it like a triangle, so it'll dip up and down if I need it to, because you will need it to. You can see the motor mount right there. What you need to do is crawl underneath. There's a couple bolts that you're gonna have to take out right there for that coolant hose, right there for that coolant hose on top. Also the rack and pinion bolt I took out just so I can move it. For the other side, because it is big, you're not going to be able to wedge it out. For the other side, did the exact same thing. Disconnected the steering so it doesn't pull on it, because it will pull on it, hold you up, and it will fuck up some shit. Mark it. Make sure you don't turn the wheel and you put it back where it's supposed to go, because if you get inside the car and turn the wheel, you'll fuck up the clock spring. Like again, I have all the bolts out on all of them, supported on jack stands that ain't going nowhere. And then you have that bolt right there, and that, and on the same line you have that 10 bolt over there that needs to come out, so you can move it out of the way to get the other bolt on the oil pan. Differential has to come out. You'll be able to do that once you lower the actual subframe. What you don't want to do is pull on the front drive shaft, because that thing will pop out. So what you do, you hit it, because it's going to get stuck and seized on from the rust. All you do is hit it from there and it'll pop right out. Other than that, disconnect the battery. It's pretty straightforward. If you're new to working on cars, I wouldn't suggest doing it. You're gonna need a gear wrench, spline drive, 10, a ratchet wrench, and also you're gonna need those inverted Torx. I think the sizes was an E12 and an E10 that I used for them. Other than that, what else? We also lined up all the bolts. We got new bolts because these are torqued to yield, so they're only one-time use. You do whatever you want. I'm doing it the right way. BMWs are my bread and butter. They're easy once you do the first one. After that, they're all pretty much the same. But take your time, be safe. Make sure you have it jacked. You know, it's not raised, it's not lower, it's not going anywhere. It's centered how it was. And the whole subframe came out. And that's pretty much it. And then while you're dropping the subframe, make sure that you're looking at the hole, at all the lines, and make sure they're not pulling on anything. The bitch of it is going to be getting that subframe lined up, but don't force it. Use the jack. Make sure it sits all the way up before you start the bolts, because you'll start to, they're aluminum, so you'll start to strip them if you're trying to pry on them to pull up the whole subframe and it's not sitting right on the shaft. But other than that, that's it.